Hello, beer tubers, and welcome to yet another beer review with me, Peter, the Master of Puppets, checking out another beer that we got from Joe, aka Jarvis Arcade. So thanks a ton to Joe for the beer. Joe sent so many beers this year, mainly IPAs, but in the last beer mail we got from him with some Slice IPAs, of course, he also sent along a few different stouts from Modern Times. I know Joe really enjoys Modern Times, and so do I. So he sent over some stuff that we, once in a while we see Modern Time releases over here, but it's very rare it's barrel aged stouts. So he sent out a few of them, and this one is Chaos Grid Soft Serve Edition. So I don't know what Chaos Grid is. I'm guessing they have a base version, and then they do a soft serve version. And this is a 13.6% Imperial Stout aged in bourbon barrels with cacao nibs, maple syrup, peanuts, and vanilla. And as far as I remember, Modern Times always uses the real deal. It's never like fake ingredients or anything. So it should be good. Usually their stouts are quite nice and very underrated as far as I remember. A few years ago at MBCC, like some of the Wizard blends and things like that, like they've had some crazy releases. So I'm hoping this is a good one. Pours a nice black color. It looks like what you want from an Imperial Stout, pretty much pitch black, maybe with a little bit of a brown hue to it, but it looks very nice. It's not like pouring out like motor oil or anything, but it's still looking quite rich, and it's got a nice tan looking head. It looks like a barrel aged beer as well. You can see the head isn't like crazy, it doesn't have a lot of integrity, and you often see that with barrel aged beers, but it looks like a nice beer. So let's check out the aroma. Yeah, it smells quite nice. I'm getting mainly vanilla, like really nice vanilla potty and vanilla bean, but also a good amount of bourbon. I don't know about peanuts and like peanut butter character. Maybe there is an underlying generic nuttiness, but the thing is, I have no idea when this is from. So on the bottom of the can here, it says Black Lives Matter 04/15/21. So I don't know if that's the canning date or if that was the best before date. But since it's a barrel aged stout, I wouldn't imagine it would expire like soon, 04/15. I'm guessing it'd be the canned on date. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know. Maybe some of you guys know, but I think the vanilla is definitely what dominates. But it's a very nice real vanilla aroma. It has that vanilla pod, almost like dark fruity vibe. And I've been told like there's a huge difference on the vanilla beans where they come from. Apparently, ever since that side project talked about using Ugandan vanilla beans, everyone wants to use Ugandan vanilla beans now because they give off that like crazy frosting type thing. But it smells nice. There's some oakiness to it. I think I'm smelling like a little bit of almost like a green peanutty thing now. Also, there is some sweetness, but I'm not sure if it's maple. It's just for me, it's mostly vanilla, but like very nice, bourbon character. It's got a big bourbon vibe. Very spirit forward, also some dry woodiness. There's definitely also some roasted maltiness. It's not like all fake pastry and toastiness. I think there's a good amount of the spirit. It smells quite nice. Big vanilla aroma on it. So yeah, let's give it a taste, guys. Cheers. Thanks a ton for the beer, Joe. Lots of vanilla. Not really that thick. Like we just came from MBCC a few weeks ago. This is more of a, I don't want to say classic, that's really not that classic, but it doesn't, the craziest of crazy barrel aged beers, they're much richer and more decadent and whatnot. Like it seems like a beer that's definitely designed for a barrel because it still has some velvetiness and whatnot, but it's not a beer that's just like gone as nuts. And I think it really varies like with Modern Times. Some stouts are like quite thick and rich and dense, even though they've been in the barrels, and then someone like this. And it's not that it's thin at all. It's just not like one of these like full-on crazy mouthfeels. And it's also a little bit fizzy, but I think it's just because it's got a higher CO2 level than a few, or most beers of this style. But I'm very happy it's not like an uber pastry beer, or like not at all. It's just like a very vanilla-dominated barrel-aged Imperial Stout. And again, it's fairly classic in its approach. Like it reminds me of just a really, I don't know, classic. It just reminds me of how you did mostly barrel-aged Imperial Stout maybe, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago. think I take that back a little bit because it is actually, it's got a good mouthfeel. It's pretty decent. Like, I think it's just the carbonation. Like when I was sitting swirling this in the glass, like when you swirl it out a bit, it's actually, it is fairly fluffy. It's not thick, but it's nice. It's a little, like, it has a little bit of that kind of sweet vanilla frosting thing too, actually. Because there is some good sweetness, and there is like a little bit of a maple sweetness, but it's not that full-on crazy fake maple. It's like that, just like delicate kind of sweet, almost, yeah, you know, like nutty kind of sugary flavor. I don't know if maple really is nutty. You know, it just tastes more like a real maple syrup than, you know, a fake one, but it's not like boatloads of it. Like, again, the big thing is the vanilla. Maybe a little bit of a green nuttiness. And interesting enough, I'm not getting loads of chocolate. There's not a ton of coconut flavor. I think the big player is, again, it's 100% the vanilla and the barrels. It's got a like very nice fudgy, caramelly bourbon flavor. It leaves a really sticky gloss on your lips, so it's definitely got some residual sugar. But it's really tasty. There's some roasty undertones underneath. There's definitely loads of caramel. Maybe not so much umami, just a hint of it. Or just like a really really nice toasty woodiness to it too. It's a tasty barrel-aged beer. It's just not blowing my socks off. But we've been so fucking blessed with barrel-aged beers as of late. Like, we've been drinking so many crazy amazing barrel-aged beers. So you can't help be a little bit hypercritical when you drink these kind of beers. Also, especially just we came from MBCC a few weeks ago. Like, well, this weekend it would be a little more. Was it last weekend, right? No. Yeah, last weekend. No, not the last weekend. The weekend before, 2 weeks ago. So, you know, we tried so many crazy beers there, but I think it's really good. But I don't think it's a world-class barrel-aged stout. It's like 93. It's a 94. I think so. It's pretty damn good. It's got some nice vanilla flavor. It's got some nice bourbon flavor. A pretty decent base. You know, maybe I could use a little bit more from all the other adjuncts, but that might just be, you know, the age of it. Again, I don't know when this was released, but it's very good. And modern times beers are usually very, very good, and this is. It's just like, it's not exactly hitting the world-class marks for me, but again, I think if maybe we hadn't been to MBCC, and if we hadn't been drinking all these awesome stouts, you know, in the last few months, the grades could have been higher. That's just how it is. The frame of reference is always very important with beers. Like, it always moves. Like, at one point you have a huge frame of reference, and then, you know, you have tried the best of a style, and then every other, you know, beer will pale a little bit in the comparison. Then you neglect that style maybe for a bit, and then your frame of reference isn't as in tune, maybe, if you can say it like that, at least with the upper echelon stuff. But again, 94 is a great grade. It's a great beer. I could just use that all the adjuncts popped a bit more, but I'm so thankful that it's not an oversweet pastry beer. That's awesome. So, yeah, tasty stuff. Thanks a ton for the beer, Joe. If you guys had a chance to try Chaos Grid Soft Serve Edition, let me know what you thought of it. Thanks a ton again to Joe for the beer. Check out his channel. I'll put a link for it down below. He does beer chug reviews now. Maybe I'll do a chug review too eventually. I don't know. I did a fun chug on a Monkish fan page on Instagram, which was quite fun. But now Joe chugs, I think, every single beer. I don't think I've seen a review from him lately where he doesn't chug the beer, which is pretty hilarious. But maybe I'll do a video like that. Who knows? But yeah, this was tasty. So thanks for the beer, Joe. And yeah, as always, guys, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Ring the bell for future bling. There it is. Future notifications about videos. And I'm going to say cheers and see you guys in another beer review.